Alright, so first league here, we're running through with some Grixis Shadow. We may play Grixis for the preliminary, we may not, I don't know. Let me go ahead and get this exported while we talk about it. A lot of people obviously right now are running through Jund Shadow like crazy. We've got some of the new tech like Hex Drinker showing up everywhere. That's kind of making Jund a very enticing option. Though Grixis does still have a lot of good parts going for it, such as the counter spells against decks like the Niv decks, the 4-color Omnath decks, Tron, that make those matchups a lot better for Grixis than it is for like Jund. Otherwise, cards like Gurmag Angler are a big enticing piece to come to this this particular variant. Being able to dodge like Fatal Push, Skyclave Apparition, really huge. Not a whole lot has changed since the last time we ran through the league. Damping Sphere has been very impressive recently, so I'm enjoying that one. I did run through a few leagues a while back with Bone Crusher Giant, and I actually really liked that. Having the extra threats was really nice, and then also being able to have the damage can't be prevented clause against the Heliod decks. Surprisingly relevant. So what do we think? Do we want to run through a couple Bone Crushers? I wouldn't be opposed to it. Gotta get shit done around the house, so maybe I'll just lurk. Good luck. Appreciate it, Mystical Pot. Always happy to have you around. How much are the fancy Bone Crushers? They're expensive, aren't they? 10 ticks. Oh, the normal ones are 9? Alright, we'll just get the fancy ones. Thank you, Magic Online, for having weird promo prices all the time. Do I want 2 Bone Crusher, or just 1, or like 1 main, 1 side? If I go 2, what am I cutting? Probably a removal spell. Let's go like that. Why not? So let's go rename Bone Crusher. Export. Update Stream Decker again. Set as current. Update the stream title. Grixis Death Shadow. Testing Bone Crusher Giant. And preliminary update. Don't think I'll be around, but I wish luck. Appreciate it, Pedro. Thanks for stopping by and giving the good vibes. Ayalis, it's getting even better when I see Death Shadow streams starting. That's how I like to feel. I feel like some Shadow streams help to improve the mood on any given day. All the good vibes, exactly. That's what the channel's all about. Those good vibrations. It's crazy. We got like 1,450 people in the active players queue, and it still takes like forever to find the match. Dead game, clearly. It's Moto 2. Oh, this actually reminds me. I can do the, let's see. I gotta go through what avenue to find this. I do that. And not increase the options. No. I wanted to do a how about this? How? I gotta figure out a good wording for it. We can do predictions and stuff now. Oh my god, I'm running into Kami. See. Alright. I don't know what Kami's playing today. Don't think this is a, or that was a particularly good hand regardless. This is a little better. Hi chat and Michael, good luck. Appreciate it. Always looking for shadow action, aren't we all? Let's see. Don't really know what we're up against, but we can pretty well take some guesses off the table if we're just being proactive. I know Kami plays like Enigmatic Incarnation, Living End. This looks like it's a prowess deck. Delver of Secrets. What do we think? Are we pegging them for a steam vent? Or not steam vents, a spell snare here. They do have a spell pierce. Alright. I think I'd actually rather snap push than play Gurmag here. Wagner, how's it going? Grixis back to defeat Living End. I mean, if Living End is as popular as it's looking recently, that could be the case. Alright, Delver, be nice. Jed, enjoyed having you in my stream. Always enjoy your stream. Like, for anybody who doesn't know, Def Jad streams a whole lot of Modern all over the place. Was streaming like some Yorion, Omnath today. But listening through his analytical processes when it comes to decision making is fantastic. Like mulligan decisions, figuring out odds for card draws. Absolutely love it. Interesting. Blizzard, hey Control, hope everything is good with you. I mean, we get to play Death Shadow, like, of course it's good. It's Death Shadow. But yeah, everything's fantastic over here. Hope everything's going well in your neck of the woods as well. Thanks for the kind words. I mean, the stream deserves them. Like, I love hanging out over on your channel whenever I'm like trying to figure out little tips and tricks. Like, I learned how to do the Tarka's command. Can't give him life 3 damage. I learned how to do the odds ability through Magic or MTG bot. To check, like, oh, well, you've got this many cards in your library. You need this card. This is how many copies of that card. Like, I had no idea how to do that until I'd watched you did it on your stream. And that was awesome. I don't know what you got here, but we're just going to throw this in front of one of these. He's got triple bolt, he's got triple bolt. Nothing I can do about it. At the moment, I've got 2 lethal attackers that need to be dealt with. It's 1 lethal attacker dealt with. Alright. I'll show Kami the Battle Rage. Snapcaster, I do not believe is going to stop this one. Death Shadow indeed. Greatest archetype in all of Modern. You're welcome to disagree, but you'd be wrong. Alright, so blue-red. I'm guessing it's just blue-red. No. Swift Spear is not usually an inclusion in like the blue-red wizard decks. You'd see like Spell Stutter, Grim Lavamancer. I mean, I guess Swift Spear is not the weirdest thing to include. But we saw Wizard's Lightning and a Tarka's command. So Temur Wizards, Temur Counterburn, something like that. We saw Spell Pierce. So what kind of things are we bringing in that are good against those type of cards? Like, do I want Kozilek's Return? Do I want K Command? I've seen Swiftspear and Blue-Red Delver, but minor inclusion. Yeah, it's not one I would often expect. I think what I'm gonna do is just gear towards like keeping my curve pretty low and efficient and go like that. That way, even if something catches me off guard, like, I feel reasonably positioned to just play efficiently. Like, I think the worst thing you can do when you're not 100% sure is get too clunky and have your deck potentially lose to itself. If I'm going with like the kind of play it safe route, I can at least play safe efficiently. JP, how's it going? Hope you're having an awesome Monday so far. Jabri coming home sometime this week. Well, let us know when. Don't stand me up this time. You stopped answering me. Breeding Pool, Fiery Islet. Okay. Maybe like a Tarmogoyf or... So just like a Swiftspear backed up with a Spell Pierce or something. Not bad. Wash the car. I need to do that. I need to clean out my car pretty badly at the moment. I've been slacking. They could have Veil, but they didn't Veil the push there, so I'm kind of assuming they don't have it. This could be like a Spell Pierce, and they just wanted to hit something more valuable than that push. Dispel. Which spell? Dispel. Clever. Glad other people went there with me. Alright. Let's see. Are you familiarized with the new Stormwing Grixis Shadow? I've played against one Stormwing entity Shadow variant, or Grixis Shadow variant. If you've got a list for something more specific, that certainly wouldn't help, or wouldn't hurt. Yeah, would help. What could Modern Horizons 2 give to make Grixis tier 0 or 1 again? Good question. I think some of the things I want to see out of Modern Horizons 2 are like the completion of the Canopy Land cycle. It's like a blue-black Canopy Land would be really nice. I don't think that would be enough of an upgrade to make something like Grixis tier 1. But it would be a start. Then in addition to that, I would say... some sort of threat we could use. Like, maybe they make... I don't know. something comparable to Tarmogoyf in black or blue or Temur colors or something like that. Alright, Spell Pierce is fine. Bold. So what does this mean? It's gotta mean something more than that, because this is still like presenting lethal. Danged island. Alright. That was an interesting one. I'm guessing Kami just, like, couldn't find lands, couldn't find, the right half of the deck to interact. I'll have to ask him about it later. Let's see, what have I missed? One black, pay 10 life, target creature gets +10/+10, gains trample, flying, and double strike. Now we're talking. What happened to Sprite Dragon in the Grixis list? Sprite Dragon got dropped as soon as the Lurrus Companion rule changed. Like, as soon as they made it 3 to put Lurrus into your hand and not just be able to cast it straight from the Companion Zone or whatever it's called, the Sprite Dragon dropped off in popularity. Saw a debate on Discord, didn't find the list, and supposedly it 5-0'd. Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, so I'd be curious to see what it looks like. I know when Stormwing first started taking a little bit of a popular route in Modern, I saw a couple Grixis lists running it that would just like Manamorphose into Stormwing or multiple Manamorphose Wraith into Gurmag or Shadow, whatever. Kami, that was rude. I agree it was pretty rude. To be fair, your Delvers didn't flip very often. I can't control that part too terribly much. Max, how's it going? It's going well so far over here. We're starting off 1-0. We're playing through this league before we decide what to play in the preliminary that's coming up in like an hour and a half. So maybe we finish this league in time. Maybe we don't. We'll figure it out. But yeah, we just played against Kami, who's in our chat now, and apparently not very pleased with me. Alright, Mold of 4, Tron land map. What more could we want out of Magic? We could like a Shadow, that'd be pretty nice. Second Tron land crack map. Alright, no second Tron land is nice. Obviously, we do still have to, like, kill our opponent at some point. But we do get to at least drop a Gurmag down next turn. Alright. Not the best draw in the world. Like I said, we do at least get to get a Gurmag Angler down here, so we can start kind of doing something. Maybe we can get, like, turn 4 Battle Rage of Gurmag, hit for 10, maybe draw a Snapcaster, Snap Battle Rage. This is like the typical mid-range problem, just drawing the wrong half of your deck in game 1. Alright, well there's Tron online. Give ourselves the out of drawing another another Battle Rage or a Snapcaster here. But for the most part, like anything our opponent can play probably does us in. Maybe it's like a Thragtusk and we have a chance, but not a lot of outs for us. They go and get Blast Zone. Yeah, I was gonna say that has to mean they drew the 3rd Tron land. Karn, okay. Karn for bridge. Yep. And we scoop to bridge because we have no main deck way of getting that off the table. Alright, K command, Mana Leak, Disdainful Stroke, Damping Sphere, pushes out, dismembers out, Lightning Bolts are but not the worst. Bone Crusher Giant's just like, well, I guess Bone Crusher and Lightning Bolt are kind of both in the same range. If I had to choose, I'd probably rather have the Lightning Bolt. Pay less mana to make my shadow even bigger. See, Kami, I'm over here playing Temur Jank Delver. It was recorded, so you get to see my utter trash. How's this like going? I'm really curious to see how it looked on your end. Because my guess was you just saw like spells that weren't lining up with what I was doing. Then like not flipping the Delvers was rough. Alright. Let's see how low our opponent is going to mulligan this game. At least 6. Hopefully they'll drive that number down even more. Maybe like 2. Hold a 2. So it would be the 2 of like Tron land map. 2nd Tron land on top. I know how these things go. Bauble sees a bauble. Too particularly interested in a bauble. Alright. Gurmag Angler's pretty good. So do they just have Nat Tron? That is the question we are coming up on now. Do they have Nat Tron / can I find a 3rd land? Or 2nd land? Second land, yeah. They do not have Tron. So, does that mean that I want to try to kill them next turn? I can play Shadow, and if they whiff on third Tron land, blind draw off the top. Then I just get to Battle Rage one of my threats next turn for lethal. If I don't, I'm holding up Stubborn Denial. And then hoping to stub something this turn to be able to untap, play a Shadow next turn. No, I think it's just play Shadow. They can't O-Stone, so they have to Karn if they hit the third Tron land. That's not a tower. Alright. On to game 3. Let's see, what was the conclusion with the magmatic channeler testing? I think I liked it a lot more than most other people liked it. I thought the card was solid, and I was usually not too upset with seeing it, but it appears like it was very underwhelming to a lot of other players. So I might have been looking at it like rose-tinted glasses style. I don't know. So I would say for the most part, I'm a fan of it. But just because I'm a fan of it doesn't necessarily mean it's right. Okay, this is close. Did they mulligan or did they keep? They mulliganed. I really like this, that this hand like answers all threats. But not being proactive in the matchup I think is a little too much to overcome. Soulless, sweet, sweet old Gurmag. I know, they look so sweet. Oh. Alright. Don't think I can afford to mulligan this. I don't want to go down to like 2 dysfunctional cards. OP is not a Tron player. Because they didn't naturally rip the Tron land off the top. You're right. Opponent, what are you doing? What are they mulliganing to? They're on 4 currently. They kept on 4. So there's a Tron land. Yeah, I'm probably going to be like snap thought seizing in a bit. Alright, so we get to take a map. I think I'm going to save this bauble for save this bauble for a fetch land. Alright, Gurmag Angler lets me at least get on the board, so that's a good draw. So from here, I'd like to find another Thoughtseize wouldn't be the worst. Damping Sphere, Stubborn Denial. Street Wraith is fine just because it's a free redraw. Second Gurmag, probably not the greatest. Opponent has found the Tron. Oh, they can pay for this too. It's a pretty okay one. So if we Thoughtseize, we get to take the Karn. Are we attacking? Probably. Pretty good one. Oh, Tron. Tron. Thoughtseize a map. They rip a map. We know about Karn. They draw Thragtusk. Can play around Mana Leak. Which, before anybody goes on any, like, snipe allegations, I do think that that Thragtusk was the right play there. Plays around Stubborn Denial that they like know we have in our deck. Just happens to play around Mana Leak as well. So if they needed Tron, threat through Mana Leak, then just Ugin seems decent. Was decent. Like, I always try to tell people that my luck against Tron is so horrendously bad that it's almost like meme worthy at this time. Like, I've got to add some sort of a command for it, but I don't know what. My luck in general is just bad. I know the feeling. Like, usually, I always think it's funny because my play style is generally a plan around the worst case scenario kind of style. Like, oh, I don't have to do this now because if they do this, I just get blown out by it. Or I need to do something this way because if I don't and they have this, like, I just get royally punished. And whenever I play with other people, they're like, why are you playing around that? And I'm like, because I just don't know. I know my luck, and there's a chance that my opponent could have that thing, and I don't want to get blown out by it. And as soon as I don't play around that thing, they'll have that thing. Beat 2 blue-white last night and lose to Tron multiple. I would rather play blue-white control or like the Rock, Jund, anything like that all day, every day than play Tron. Like, I would so much rather play against those decks. Alright, so their hand is pretty hand disruption resilient. So I think I'm going to take the map here. And the hope is that they don't find a land off of this. And they have to, Stirrings for their second land. So that they couldn't Sylvan Scrying. But like this, it's the odds are pretty low that they should hit exactly a Tron land that they don't have in that blind draw step. So when they do hit it, it's like, alright, yeah. Alright, so we know they've got Ugin coming off the top. So they can't play out a threat next turn. So what's probably going to happen is what? Thought Scour myself, because if I draw like a Stubborn Denial, it makes these decisions a lot easier. Bobble myself because I want to know if I'm drawing into a Stubborn Denial. And then I'm taking the Ugin there because they have to draw into exactly second tower to be able to cast the Ulamog next turn. Let's see. Oh, they drew second tower. See, it's on camera. It's on camera. I just want to point out it's on camera. Let's see. So you're applying deck versus deck theory rather than hand versus hand theory because of the possible worst case scenario. Correct. Correct. So I'm just saying, you guys see my luck here. You see what happens, right? I'm not making this up. For so many years, it was always like, oh yeah, Tron's just like a good matchup for Shadow, right? And I'm like, maybe some Shadow players. I am not one of those some. I think Aaron asked if I'd ever beaten Tron, and I'd say it's weird. Like, every paper event, I think I beat Tron. Every Magic Online event, not a chance. Alright, what direction am I going with this hand? I feel like you literally need Blood Moon to win this matchup. Feels like that sometimes, doesn't it? Okay, a little tempo-y. Opponent kept 7, so we're pretty dead. Second land is great. How's our dredge matchup? I can give you numbers. Let's see, what have we played against? We played against Urzatron, lost that one, and then we lost to, I guess we're gonna put it under miscellaneous. Sorry, Kami. But I don't know what to put Temur, Delver stuff under. But Dredge, this needs to be updated. We've been playing a lot of Grixis against Dredge lately, and it's been okay. A little bit rougher for 4-color. Hopefully that kind of helps out. Alright, am I going Thoughtseize here, or am I going Double Shadow? Probably Double Shadow, right? I just kind of want to, like, pack on pressure. I like the mass amount of Ceremonious Rejections in this matchup, too. Rejection is nice, but I hate having a card in my sideboard that's literally for 1, maybe 2 matchups. And that's how Ceremonious Rejection is. Like, it's really good if you run into a bunch of Tron and Eldrazi Tron, and, like, really terrible if you run into literal anything else. And to me, that's just too narrow. Alright, so they don't have Tron, and they don't have any too terrible payoffs. So, am I just taking Karn? Yes. So if they top deck Tron, they can't Karn plus bridge me. Sorry, not if they top deck Tron. When they top deck Tron, they can't Karn plus bridge me. So I just drew another, or drew a star. I'm not 100% sure why opponents showing me their hand after I just Thoughtseized them. Like, hey, here's what I had. I know. That's all. His hand's not getting there. This has a chance. I'm not, like, in love with it. Yep. Makes it a little bit better. What do you have on top? Sylvan Scrying. Assuming you don't really need that scrying. Got the Tron. Are we taking Ulamog and trying to Mana Leak Wormcoil? It's a little riskier. Yeah, I think I have to, because taking Worm Coil means they've got Tron, they've got a Sylvan Scrying in hand. So, like, any Star Sphere, map, green source lets them get to enough mana to get Ulamog online. And I just, like, can't beat the Ulamog trigger. And I'm just going to go ahead and crack this now. I know that they're going to be shuffling this away to be able to play Worm Coil, but I just need to get more spells, more lands, more action. Alright, opponent. Nothing too crazy. Second Worm Coil. Walking Ballista on 3. Okay. My thought is if I Battle Rage this Angler and they whiff next turn, and then they can't tick up Ballista twice, I might be able to Battle Rage again and force the action. Clink coming in with the 8-month resub. Tron is in fact the devil. Agreed completely. Thank you for the continued support. Why is... I'm gonna have to update that that welcome message. It's supposed to be showing the emotes. I don't know why it's showing the wording. Alright, what am I doing here? I think I am... so close. Yeah, I guess I can't. Phoenix, they have to whiff a land or 7-mana threat if you rage. You are correct, but if I don't rage, I get to start doing this. This makes life awkward as well. Now it's like any land lets them level this up twice or add 2 counters to it. Alright, map is fine. Still means they can only level this up once. So if I attack with Shadow, or attack with Gurmag, Battle Rage, they have to Walking Ballista it. What on earth are they whiffing on? They can't be whiffing. They have to just be like playing around a counter spell, right? They've got 1 billion mana. There's no reason not to make an action. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's not lethal. I could snap Bolt Ugin. Yep. So if I snap Bolt Ugin, goes to 5, 3, and draw a bolt, I can kill it. If I snap Bolt them, 7, 5, I draw a bolt, they're still not dead. So I have to snap Bolt Ugin to not draw the lightning bolt. So we are the big deads. Alright. How long do we have till the preliminary? So 50 minutes. Oh man. Well then let's continue. I gotta make a prediction for the preliminary. I don't know what the prediction's gonna be yet. Something like, do we think we're gonna win 2 or more games, or 3 or 4 games, or 2 or 1, or something like that? Don't know what I'm gonna have it at yet. This hand's really good if we hit the second land, but really bad if we don't. Am I going with Grixis for the preliminary? Hadn't decided yet. Maybe we do that as a poll. Good old taxes. I mean, are people really like opinionated one way or the other for the challenge? Like, do more people want to see like Jund or Grixis? Did I make any changes on yesterday's 75? You mean, what was it, Saturday's 75? I haven't really made any changes that I've tried out. There's a few that I've just kind of thought about. Let me pull up that list and I can walk through them a little bit. Kevin upgraded the anglers, I see. I do appreciate these anglers quite a bit, so I can't complain too much. Fun Titan, thanks for the follow. Hope you're having a fantastic what is it, Monday morning, evening, or afternoon, wherever you're at in the world. Appreciate you coming and hanging out. Tough matchup so far. Haven't been the best, have they? That's not going to do it. What are we saying? Tron, taxes, Delver. Taxes. I usually like leaving in like a stubborn denial. It's pretty nice against like Vile on turn 1, Path, Celestial Purge, Rest in Peace. It's like just enough targets for it. Somebody asked earlier if I rented or if I owned everything. I forgot to answer that question. I thought about it for a second and then forgot to answer, but I do own everything. Just a whole bunch of shadow stuff and random cards here and there and random things that have opened out of chests that I haven't been able to sell. But yeah, own everything to like all these, most shadow variants, and 5 ticks of Pummeler. But it helps a lot with the testing process, so I can just like get whatever cards I need for whatever build pretty quickly. And it's always got its benefits. Like I own a playset of Hex Drinkers. I don't need a playset of Hex Drinkers, so I might consider like dumping some of those pretty shortly. I like the sideboard spheres. I think that's the best Tron hate for mid-range decks right now. I agree. I've been trying to go on like Cleansing Wildfire and was it Cleansing Wildfire, Assassin's Trophy, and none of them just felt like they were doing enough. It was like, alright, you take your opponent off of a Tron land, and they go, cool, here's a replacement, or cool, here's something to do with that mana anyway. Alright, drawing both of my basics against the Path to Exile Ghost Quarter deck. is not ideal. So I'm choosing to Fatal Push that Thalia instead of Lightning Bolt it because of Archon of Emeria. I would rather save my way of dealing with a card like that without having to have Revolt for push, which as you can see I don't currently have. Winds of Abandon looking good. Yet another reason we didn't really want to see all of our basics. Skyclave Apparition. So if I've got to leave one of these, I think I'd rather leave Bolt. So they also have the Path. We know they've got the Skyclave Apparition on top. So their hand is shaping up pretty well against us. What I'm hoping to do here is get this Apparition on the Shadow and then be able to terminate the Apparition like inside of combat and use that blocker on the Auriok champion. Yep. Does not help that we're drawing a ton of lands. You really don't want to be like 6-7 turns in against mono white and still hitting land drops. Bone Crusher does not fit in Jund. No, because of Luris. See, how many actual counter spells would you run in this deck? Modern Horizons 2, maybe seeing it printed, possible leak of it. Huh, good question. I still think I would say that like Stubborn Denial for the most part is better in this deck than actual counter spell. The reason being it allows you to double spell as early as turn 2, and that's kind of a big deal here. But as far as actual counter spells, 2 or so. Yeah, being able to Gurmag on 2 is a pretty big deal. Alright. So we need, like, second Kozilek's return. I think that's our out. That is not second Kozilek's return. Alright. How long till this preliminary? Still 37 minutes. So we can finish our league. Let's add a poll. Or do we want to add a poll? Do we want to go that fancy? I guess we'll just like ask the opinions of chat. Do we want to play Jund? Is that kind of what people are asking about? When Grixis doesn't want to work, it really doesn't work. So, the opinion I always give on Grixis is when the deck runs hot or when the deck curves out the way you want it to, I think it's like one of, if not the best deck in Modern. Like, the hot draws for Grixis are basically better than, like, any other deck. But the cold draws are so underperforming. But until Grixis gets another threat that's like comparable to Tarmogoyf in a sense, it's going to be really tough to break out of that pattern. Like this hand's fantastic. There's not a ton of decks in Modern that can keep up with it. We'll see what happens, because they could be on one of the decks that can. Looks like burn. Burn it is. Burn, baby, burn. Alright, so we'll play it a little bit slow. Take Lightning Bolt. If our opponent wants to Boros Charm us in the face, they are welcome to. Let's see. We'll just go Delta Pass. All I'm really trying to do is set up a double spell for next turn. Fine with Boros Charm to the face. Rift Bolt is fine as well. Alright, so if I go untap, we know their last card's Fiery Islet. Yeah. So I can untap, shock in Blood Crypt. Am I shocking in Blood Crypt? I don't really need to, right? I can just go like Shadow, play fetch land, say go. Yeah, this is fine. See what they do. Opponent may not be well versed in the matchup. It's a weird one to be well versed in, for sure. Here's the islet. Islet is gone. Alright, so let's get... Steam vents is fine. Let's think about life total. So yeah, I do want to fetch here because I can get, or I can stomp this, attack, or thought seize them, attack in, and hold up stubborn denial, and I'm not dead to double burn spell. Take the other goblin guide. Stomp this. If I can tap my mana correctly. Stomp you. Attack in. And I think here I am cycling the Street Wraith just to make it lethal next turn. So I know they've got this this Skullcrack in hand. They can't top deck a third land and another burn spell. They could play like an Eidolon, but it has to chump block. And voila. Grixis vs. Burn might be one of the most interesting matchups in Modern. It's a relatively fun one. I guess in terms of, like, play patterns, I'd put it up there. Like, there's a lot of cool back and forth. A lot of weird sequencing. And I appreciate that much about it. Did I know about the Skullcrack? Yes. I thought seized them last turn when they had 2 cards in hand. And they had Skullcrack Goblin Guide. So I knew if I took the Goblin Guide while they only had 2 lands, they had to either tap out for Skullcrack into the Stubborn Denial or play something like a haste creature that wasn't lethal. And they were just forced to chump again next turn. See, Classic Boros Burn seems slightly favorable for Grixis. I think it's this weird, like, back and forth. Like, if both players are new to their decks, then I think it's favorable for Burn. As the Shadow player gets better, it gets more favorable for Shadow. As the Burn player gets better, it starts going, like, back closer to Burn. If it's 2 players that are just, like, absolute top of their game, I'd probably say it's actually a little bit in Burn's favor, but not by, like, a lot. I don't want them to follow this up with an Eidolon. But I guess if they do, they do. I don't want to take 4 off of this plus 2 more off Eidolon. Alright, double suspend Rift Bolt's fine. try to cut your ability to double spell. Like, I actually think the worst thing that Burn can do in these matchups is overboard. Like, just get to a point where they start putting in, like, 2 or 3 paths, plus 2 or 3 rest in peace, plus something else like deflecting palm, and they probably would have won if they just had, like, actual spells to cast. But they didn't because they were too busy playing these other things that didn't really matter. Alright. Guessing opponent drew a land, so not much we can do there. Alright, so I guess Jun looks like it's the popular opinion for the preliminary that's about to start. This is kind of what I've been messing around with